Hi guys, today we're going to be doing formulas for arithmetic series. So we have two formulas in this section usually. So the first one is t sub n equals a plus n minus 1 times d. So you might be able to tell how this works, because usually you would have some series a plus d, a plus 2d. Makes sense, right? So this would be an arithmetic series right here. And the reason so you start at a, and that is going to be your value at that point. So for example, for the first one, it would be a plus, what's the number? It's the first number, right? So it's the first number minus 1 times d. So you don't add any d's, you just have a. A equals a. That works. For the second one, n minus 1 times d. It makes sense. It's the second number. So you can see why you subtract 1 from the number that it actually is. It's because you don't start adding d's until the first one is already over. So it's the second one where you add the first d. Our second formula is s sub n. So this is a new one. I haven't taught you about this variable. It's actually the sum of all of these. So if you were to plug in an n right here, it would be, so if we plugged in 3, it would be this, plus this, right? So again, this, plus this, plus this. Okay. So the reason we do t sub n plus a is because we want to find the average, so we divide that by 2, and that'll get the average number in between. It will actually multiply it by n. Now, if you're having trouble visualizing that, no need to worry. So let's say we had some series. Let's just put it on a number line. Hopefully you know what a number line is. Grade 11, right? So let's say the first number, well, let's just say this is 0, right? Let's say the first number is a plus d, a plus 2d. Let's just keep doing this, a plus 3d. If you're at any point confused on what I'm doing, you can refer back to the video before this. It's probably why. Yeah. 4d. Okay. So if you were to take a right here, a, and you were to take, let's say you want to get it all the way until this number, then you would take the average in between these, right? So let's maybe say it's this number, right? Take the number in between these, and if you then multiply it by n, that would get you the total, because adding up all of these ones that like vary in size is the same thing as taking the one in the very middle and just having multiple of those, right? Okay, so that's the explanation for the arithmetic series formulas. So again, this is the actual value of each number, so you would plug in some n, and hopefully you'd have your a actual number. And this is s sub n, which is your actual sum. So some practice examples might be, if you had 3, 7, 11, 15, 19, and then you were asked to find t sub n at n equals 6. So when I say t, I mean t sub n. So find t at n equals 6. So obviously we already have the first 5, and we would identify the pattern. So it's actually just adding 4 every time, right? Pretty simple. So the 6th one we could assume would be 23. And if we plug that into our equation, we would say, well, A is equal to 3. And we would say 3 plus 6, right? Because n equals 6 minus 1 times d, which we found out was 4. And then we would take that and we would do all of the multiplication, all of the addition. So lead mass, we know this is actually going to be equal to, this is going to be equal to 3 plus 5 times 4, right? And that is going to be equal to 3 plus 20. That's going to be equal to 3 plus, 23. So your answer here would be 23. And now let's try an example for S sub n. So let's say you were given the example 12, 44, 76, 108, and you were asked to find S, so S sub n at n equals 7. So we are given the first 4 numbers, right? So we see 12, we see 44, we see 76, we see 108. Really all you're doing is adding 32. So as you're adding 32, you would see that you're adding 32, and you would plug in the numbers to the equation that hopefully you understand. So we would plug in the numbers. We have to find t sub n first, right? So let's rewrite this equation. So it would be t plus a, right? Divided by, or actually let's do multiplication first. Multiplied by n, and then this whole thing is divided by 2. Okay, so first we need to find the value at n equals 7. We can actually just delete this n and plug in the 7 because we have it right here. And the a we also have 12, right? Right here. So now we just need to find t. So t would be like we said before, we would just plug in the numbers. So it would be 12 plus n minus 1 is 6 times d, which is 32. Now 6 times 32 is 192. So we can just rewrite that as 12 plus 192. Now we can rewrite that as 204. Right? So we got t is equal to 204, so we would type that in, 204. Now you would say 204 plus 12, 216. 216 times 7? Yeah, 216 times 7. Let's do division first. Let's do 216 divided by 2. 216 divided by 2 is 108. Now we get a much simpler thing. 108 times 7. 108 times 5 is 54. So 540 plus 216. 540, 556, 716. 716 is our answer for finding the sum at n equals 7. So it would be all of these added up all the way until n equals 7, right? That's all I have for you today. Hopefully you have a better grasp on using formulas in arithmetic series and being able to find the sum of numbers and just the values of numbers in arithmetic series. Thank you.